Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 19 of Stellaris as the Chinor Stellar Union. Just bringing my fleet back to the homeworld now so that we can repair and upgrade them. We've been out getting rid of a few. In fact, actually, before we do that, let's just go back down here because I did miss one. So I was just going around and trying to clean up some of the little space nasties in order to give us some debris that we can research. I will have to send one of my other science ships down there quite soon. I don't know why I've got so many science ships around here. There's some more debris. All of this gives us a lot of extra research points, which will all be useful later on. Obviously, we have increased our naval fleet size. What have we got here? Oh, we've ancient Cybrex base. What is this? The hostile and unforgiving world of Media 9A was home to what once appears to have been a large Cybrex base. Nothing remains of it now aside from some scattered debris in a large crater. We will have to investigate the site on the base more closely if we are to learn more. Okay, fair enough. So what do we get for this then? Can we see that anywhere? Has a scientist that is present has a 5 skill or higher. So that is over there. Okay, so we need a scientist. Do we even have a scientist with 5 skill or higher? Let's go and have a quick look. No, our best scientist is a scientist, a 3 skill scientist. That's not fantastic, really. We'll have to wait on that one. Try and remember to come back to that later. Let's just have a quick look at some of our worlds and see if there's anything we can do to make any improvements. We've got some population here that isn't actually working on any energy building. So let's go ahead and build some of those, because that will certainly increase our energy output. What's the... there is some food going on here. Happiness isn't great. Would be nice if we could build something that increases happiness. Now, there are some buildings that can do it. There's this one here. There's the Hyper Entertainment Forum. A little bit expensive, but I think we should go ahead and get one. So let's queue one of those up. There's some more debris done. That means the Shadowhawk has now finished what he was doing. So do I continue to survey these planets, or do we come down here and start working on this debris? I think getting the debris is probably the better thing to do, because the debris doesn't stick around forever. So let's go ahead now, and we've just got some amoebas. Hopefully we can sort these guys out. Now the amoebas, the damage that these amoebas do, our scanners can make no sense of this strange vessel. The things that these guys do, I think they actually hit you with like explosive weapons. So point defense is actually quite useful against amoebas. So unless I'm completely wrong, and I could be, it's happened before. Let's just wait until they start hitting us. Yeah, see, they don't actually have any... they're not showing us doing kinetic, energy, or explosive damage. But their damage is going straight to the hull and doing some damage to armor and completely bypassing shields. So, yeah, I would say that it's explosive-like weaponry. So you guys definitely need to go back to the homeworld now, because you're a little bit beaten up. So you can go back there. What is this ship that we have here? That is the Githian. What are you actually doing? Oh, you're assisting research. That's what we're doing there. We're assisting research on this planet. That's why we have 3 ships now, because we're assisting research. I knew there was a reason why I had 3 science vessels, and I couldn't remember what it was. Didn't think I got that far in this campaign, but apparently so. So the question is, now that our construction ship has finished doing all of that, and I think what we should definitely do is go and build a mining station here, get some more energy credits. Well, it won't go directly to us. But what I should possibly do is try and grab Zurak here so we can give that to the sector as well. Now then, another research is complete. Subspace sensors. Unlocks subspace sensors, funnily enough. Increases survey speed as well. So we can have blue lasers, we can have antimatter power. That's quite a high level tech. We can go for cloud lightning, we can go for active countermeasures. Blue shard thrower. There's a lot of stuff we've got to choose from here, because we've already got partial research towards some of these. Let's go for the point defense. That can only be useful later on. Hopefully we'll be able to get enough... There are other ways to gain influence. Because at this stage of the game, influence isn't all that important, but if you are trying to build frontier outposts and hire leaders when they keep dying, that's when you do run into a few problems. Now, what I could try and do My income in terms of energy credits and minerals isn't all that bad at the moment. We could actually go into the Empire screen and we could tax them a little bit more. We're actually not taxing them at all at the moment, and you'll notice that they actually have an energy credits deficit. What I can do is click this button and actually give them some. I could also tell them to actually focus on generating energy credits instead of minerals. So we'll go ahead and tell them to do that, and they will redevelop tiles if need be to try and make some energy credits, so that is fine. So the fleet has arrived back home, I believe. You can go and repair first before you do anything else. The Carston has finished surveying this system. Now that's that one that we can't do yet because we don't actually have the level 5 scientist. Now I did mention actually moving Afro to one of these worlds. Probably this newly developed one if you don't already have a governor. No, you don't. So we'll move Afro there. And hopefully you'll be able to whip those boys into shape. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, we need this happiness building. We can move somebody in there to try and increase the happiness. I think there's another issue at the moment as well with the sort of unhappiness and revolts and stuff not working quite as well as they should be. Haven't really discovered that yet. We could go ahead and upgrade this to a power plant 2. Get some more power from that. That's not a bad idea. We can still have a fifth world as well, so it might be worth keeping our eye out for a planet that we can potentially colonize and call our own. Somewhere around our own space. Maybe over here if we could grab one of these. But this one here, not all that useful because it's a little bit too far away. Although if we did grab that, we would probably grab some of these adjacent systems, which is not a bad idea. There is a desert world here that we could colonize, and that would probably grab us a fairly decent chunk of space. So what have we got here? Arctic, yeah, 60% base happiness for desert world. This one here, of course, is an arid world. That would be the most ideal one for us to settle on. But I think we could probably manage on a desert world. Construction ship has finished. Can't really do an awful lot else with it at the moment, so we'll just sort of sit there with it. In fact, we'll put him into orbit because it's probably saves some money. We'll go ahead and merge together both of our fleets for the time being. And I think we will work, if we can afford it. We might be able to. Can we work on a colony ship? We can. Let's work on a colony ship. Now, we only have one sort of type of people. This is another thing that can happen as well as the game goes on. Because you will have sort of ethnic divergence within your population, you will start to get people that have slightly different ethics and slightly different ideologies. When you create a colony ship, you'll actually be able to choose which of those people you put aboard the colony ship. Same goes for if you actually have open borders and migration with other worlds. You might find that you have population which is a completely different species to you that you can actually create a colony with, because you might have some population on one of your planets that's better suited to a desert world than your own, and then you can use them. So that's actually quite a nice little feature. Are we trading with these guys? Do they like us? They're actually hostile. Why are they hostile? Because we've rivaled them. That's probably why. They're equivalent to me. I think this is probably the reason why we wanted to build those defense platforms, in case those guys decided to declare a war on me. That's quite possibly what it was.
System survey complete.
But there must be somebody that we can trade with. Now, you guys, we can trade with you guys. You're cordial. Do we have an embassy with you? Now then, would you be willing to offer migration access? Oh, we don't have free pop migration, do we not? Not at all. Migration. Free migration. Sure, let's put it onto free migration then. And then we can go over here and we can... It'll probably say no anyway. Oh, they don't allow free pop migration. So this would mean... Allow the other party's pops to migrate to owned planets. So this would allow their population to migrate on our planet. But they don't have free pop migration either, so they wouldn't be allowed to move onto my planet anyway. Oh no, they should be able to actually, because that free pop migration, let me just find it again. So, if they don't have free migration, it could be they're on primary species only. Only pops of our species can freely migrate, which means well, again, that wouldn't help me, would it? Because because if they have primary species only, then their population can migrate, which means their population could live on my world, which is what I'd want, because then I could use them to try and colonize somewhere else. Right, so let's go and try that then. So we'll offer trade deal, migration access. They don't want to offer me. Well, it says 0. I'm not sure if we can actually change that with anything. What about if we offer them a mineral? Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and confirm that. Should say yes, and that should allow them to then live on my planet. It's not too sure if it's going to work. We'll give it a go. Still learning here. Got more ships that are doing their thing. So you finished surveying. Let's go ahead and start researching that project. Let's make sure we are unpaused again. So once we've got the... oh, there's the deal. Yep, it's accepted. Fine. Might seem a weird thing expecting him not to accept, considering he was in a position where... Oh, we can go grab that for 2 extra energy credits, can't we? Let's do that with the construction ship. You might be thinking it's a little bit odd, me thinking that he might have said no, but I have seen deals that are completely in the AI's favour, as in I offer them a load of stuff for nothing in return, and they still say no. So... sometimes it doesn't quite work out as you would expect it to. But we'll carry on trading with these guys. So they're colonising quite far out. You know, they're not particularly bothered about sticking with... sticking their territory close together. So I could go up here and try and grab Safiban, because that is actually an arid world. In fact, let's actually look at the worlds and see what it's like in terms of... how much room there is. So there's only 8 tiles on that arid world. Let's go and get Lucas to attempt that. He might do it. So there's only 8 tiles. Let me just pause up. Pretty crap. There's only 2 tiles we could land on. All the rest of them are blocked. That is not a good place to settle. But if we go ahead and look at the desert world here, which was 3A, which is this one. This one actually slightly better. Only slightly, mind. It does have more tiles. It doesn't have an awful lot on there. Maybe we'll have to think about that one. We obviously don't want to colonize an Arctic world. Our base happiness will be so low because our people just don't like Arctic worlds. So even if you can colonize them, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should. Let's go ahead and get our science vessel here. And right, we've got alien vessels down there. Unidentified empire, but they're quite a weak fleet with the look of things. But we do really want to go and research that. Let's get you down here and do this one instead then. And you're at Wraxham, so let's go ahead and bring the fleet down here. We haven't done the upgrades yet, but I'm more concerned about actually getting rid of those guys. I think what we will do is after the colony ship, we'll probably go ahead and just grab another destroyer. Research is complete. Blue shard thrower is done. Oh, okay, that one was done automatically because we actually found the found it in debris. Plasma thruster is now done. So we can start working on cruisers. Spaceport level 5, that is nice. Our physics guy would be better at it because he's better with Voidcraft. Do we need any of this other stuff though? Fusion missile, space torpedoes, autocannon. Let's go for the ability to build cruisers. And I think what we will do here, because you are better at Voidcraft, and this is a Voidcraft science. So you would actually give us 10% research speed. It's currently going to take 41 months. So if we put Slargrim in place of this guy, there we go. So that 41 months now becomes 38 months. And then over here, we can go and put this guy back in. So sometimes it is worth trying to match up their expertise with the type of tech that they are working on, because it can actually speed things up quite nicely. We've made a new contact. And who are these guys? Oh god, this game loves giving me names that I can't pronounce. This is the Yazravenar Nation. I speak on behalf of the Yazravenar Nation. We are a democratic nation committed to upholding the individual freedoms of our citizens in a galaxy full of alien horrors. Our elected leader, President Eyes of Indigo, warns you not to interact with our citizens or approach our space. You're a dick, basically. Where are those guys? Can we even find... There they are, these guys over here. Let's go ahead and... ancient debris from some kind of massive Cybrex refinery complex has been found in orbit around the gas giant Medkarash 1. Lingering energy traces suggest that it was destroyed by some kind of antimatter weapon. That's given us another project that we can do. So, yeah, these guys... Translation software activated. You may speak now, Chinor. So they dislike us because they're xenophobes. Which is fine. They're actually pathetic, so I don't care about them too much. They're going to get crushed. They're on the other side of the galaxy. They're not an issue. There's Sentinel Point defense completed. So what do we want to get now? A lot of stuff we can choose from. Space-time theory gives us physics labs. Satramine refining unlocks a new resource. I haven't seen this one before. The atmospheric dispenser. What does that actually give us? Minus 15% growth time. Or we can actually work on shields, which is probably more useful for us right now. So, oh, map the stars. What does this do? Survey speed plus 25%, anomaly discovery chance plus 10%. It is nice. It's pretty quick as well. That research institute is nice. It gives us 5, 5, and 5. That is really good. And this is planet fortification toughness plus 20%. We do need shields though. You've got to go for shields. This is one thing that I do really like about this game. The fact that you don't always get the same tech choices in the same order. So you really do have to sort of stop and think about exactly what you're going to do in what order. We've got a colony ship. Just really trying to think if there's any better worlds to try and colonize anywhere that I can see. And we don't have an awful lot of options unless we want to start getting in this guy's face and colonizing down here. Got a Gaia world down here, actually. What's this one like? That is a very, very nice world. It's a little bit out of our way, but he doesn't care where he's colonizing, does he? And we can always wipe him out later on if need be. Let's go ahead and get our colony ship down there then. I think that Gaia world is going to be a better option, and we should be able to gobble up a few of these star systems that are close by to it as well. Now, we do know that we do have some hostiles in a couple of areas here, so we are going to have to... That's a mining station. Still got those alien vessels potentially. We were moving down with our fleet. They're actually nearly there. I'm almost beginning to regret playing this with warp on as well, because I haven't had a mess around with wormhole technology, but I have had a mess around with hyperspace. It's so much easier, so much quicker. And I was actually chasing an enemy fleet around that were using hyperspace technology, and I was stuck with warp, and I could not catch them. They were constantly outmaneuvering me. Yeah, we need a level 5 scientist for both of those projects, so we will have to wait on that one. Hopefully our ships are going to get in here and clean these out. It'll make life a little bit easier for my colony ship. Now then, my construction ship. You are taking a serious amount of time building that mining station. Once you've done that, though... See, I'd like to grab some of these as well. I mean, that's a lot of energy there. It is possible that our borders might naturally expand to reach Zorak. It's also quite possible that they won't. Is it worth grabbing that? It might be. And these guys have already got 2 frontier outposts. Mind you, the frontier outposts don't cost them influence. This is the point. They don't have an influence cap, so they don't have to worry about that. So if we... why can't we build a frontier outpost? Because you need 200, not 100. Very, very expensive to build frontier outposts. There's another system survey done. That's the Cybrex refinery. I think both of those are the Cybrex things. So I guess we just carry on surveying systems. That said, as we find another one, go ahead and research that project. Now then, we have random little fleet down here. The Beth aliens that we're about to go and destroy. I don't know who these guys are. Construction ship has finished whatever it was doing. So, as a result of that, I think we should probably bring you down here. Tropical world, ocean world. This is the Gaia world. This is the one that we're going to start building on. So you move down here. Take you a bit of time to get there. And we'll go and clear these up as well. Colony ship's well on its way now, so that shouldn't be too bad. Still a lot of debris to clear up here. This thing should be no problem at all. Yeah, didn't think so. So let's go ahead and take our first fleet and move them down to here. Go and just destroy all of that stuff. Colony ship has arrived in orbit, which is fantastic. Now then, we want the Gaia world. It's the frozen world. It is Gaia world. This one. So, if you wouldn't mind colonising there, please. Got to decide where we're going to put this one now. So ideally, you always want to try and put it in a tile where you will have either food, minerals, or energy above, below, and to the left and right. And sometimes that can be a little bit difficult because you have tile blockers, or sometimes you have science, and you won't get the benefit from the science. Wherever we put it, we're going to be a little bit stuck. This seems like the best one here. We'll lose a little bit of our society research, but what we will gain is a production bonus to either food or minerals here, depending on what we build, the energy, and we should be able to clear up those tile blockers without too much of a problem. So I don't mind that too much. I think that is perfectly acceptable. Debris. Let's go ahead now and just clear all this stuff out. The Shadowhawk has finished with that debris, and I guess now you can go up and... was that the one we just went to? Yeah, you go over there and survey that system. Whatever that hostile was, it does seem to have gone away. It might have been the fact that the combined Rixie planets are down here, so they probably got rid of it. So if that's the case,
incoming transmission.
Let's just go and go back home. Got an incoming transmission here. Oh, these guys are a bit ugly. They want to trade star charts. That's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. Might be useful. We're still saying that we've got hostile fleets here. Let's turn around again. It's a mining... Did I move to the wrong planet? I mean, it's a mining station. It's clearly not reappearing. So there's clearly something that I am missing there. So debris analysed is always good. We're now starting to colonise. There we go. So these borders will expand. Governor Foundation Afro the Fourth has leveled up and gained the trait Adaptable. Good for her. Apparently you're a her, Afro. I wasn't even sure that these aliens had gender. Because it just says Governor. I mean, how do you tell? So what does that actually give you? Let's have a look. We need to look on leaders, I suppose. Governor Foundation Afro. Yeah, it just says species. It doesn't actually say what the gender is, which is weird. So, it's not actually showing that particular thing. Adaptable. Interesting. I have no idea what's going on there then. Our construction ship has arrived in orbit. Shame we don't have an awful lot of energy around for that. Is it worth building on any of these things? Probably is. Minerals is always good. So let's go ahead and... we want to build mining stations everywhere. Let's just back out of that and right-click on the star, because then we can build mining stations on the entire star. Makes life much easier. An anomaly with a 15% failure risk. Yep, we can try that one. Yeah, there is actually a mining station here. It's just we didn't engage it. I could always put the fleet on sort of aggressive stance, and then they'll deal with stuff like that. But I did kind of forget. Our scientist has died. Oh, well, at least it wasn't Foundation Afro again. So we need to get ourselves a new scientist. What projects are we working on at the moment? We are working on Voidcraft. There's a little bit of a shape. You can actually work on these without a scientist. It takes an awful lot longer because you get a massive penalty. But you can research something without scientists. So can we get somebody who is good at Voidcraft? No, but we do have a lot of particle research to come along later on. So I think we'll go ahead and actually grab that guy there, assuming it is a guy. It's very hard to tell. So people keep dying on us. The Shadowhawk has... what has the Shadowhawk done? Where are you?
Situation log updated.
We sent you there. We want you to go and survey that system and then get the debris. And that is the fleet finished with its battle, so let's bring it back home. This time we'll try and get everybody repaired. Tragic news from Mitin 2. The science officer in charge was killed by an electrical discharge while travelling inside the gas giant's upper atmosphere in a small shuttlecraft. The crew of the CUS Uris have aborted their mission. Now the Uris is... which one is the Uris? Right, the Karsten. Our leader has died in the Karsten. So who was that? That was... was that Lucas? Did we just lose Lucas again? Where are we? Leaders. Scientists. Think we actually lost Lucas. Because I can't see him anywhere. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's go and recruit a new one. What have we got here? Leader lifespan. That might be useful. You are going to be Lucas Campbell the Third, I think. Please stop dying. Right, you were doing what exactly? What were you doing and where? You were researching here. So you can see, sometimes when you actually do a an anomaly, it can go wrong. And sometimes when it goes wrong, it can be quite disastrous. But I'm going to leave things there. I think that's a good point to end the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Stellaris. I'll see you guys on the next video. And until then, goodbye for now.